Hi there, I'm Ben from Australian Paramedical College, and today it is my pleasure to be catching up with a former APC student and diploma graduate, Jason Borg, to find out what he's been up to since graduating at APC. Jason, thanks for your time, mate. How are you going?
Great, Ben. Thank you very much for asking. So can't complain at all.
Awesome, mate. So, Jason, if you could just tell us what you're currently up to work-wise.
Yeah, so excuse the attire. I've just actually finished a shift. Started at 2:30 this morning, so that's Western Australian time. So I've been working with St John's now in a paid position for about 2 months. Got to say, absolutely loving it. I've been appointed as a event medic, which means basically I spend most of my days out at events, whether they be in the community or private functions, and provide medical aid for those who are in need. So, and it looks like tomorrow, hopefully, I'll be getting trained up as well to be a COVID swabber, to be able to get out there and get paid to take swabs. So it's all been quite an adventure since leaving APC.
That's awesome, mate. So you finished up with APC a few years ago. Can you take me through your journey from then until now?
Yeah, one of the things that one of the reasons that I did the Diploma of Paramedical Science was really just because it sparked an interest, and I've been out there delivering first aid at all different levels, to all different associations, individuals, whether it be within the school system or just, private workplaces. And it really found that with the students, they were constantly asking questions, and some of those questions were quite complex and beyond the scope of first aid. But I needed to give them an answer, and I needed to find the answer. So I just started to really develop my knowledge more and more. And a relative of mine one day came over to the house and said that she was going to the St John's ball. And I said, well, how do you get a bite of the cherry at that? She goes, oh, you can become a volunteer. And I couldn't believe it. So that sparked another interest. And I decided to put my hand up and become a volunteer, and I was a volunteer with them for nearly 5 years. A friend of mine that I was volunteering with at St John's said, you'd be really good as a paramedic. And I went, well, can't afford to have the time off work, and I don't have the money to go through, the college system, not at that stage anyway. And I thought, I might actually go and look at that a little bit further, and saw that there was the Diploma of Paramedical Science, so decided to do some research and found APC was probably the best out there. So, and it just so happened that this role came up with St John's, so applied for it, never thought that I would get it, but luckily I did. So, be motivated, see it through, because the rewards are endless.
Yeah, fantastic. Jason, it sounds like, what you're doing now is you've hit on something you really enjoy. Are there any bigger goals, future aspirations?
Oh, yeah, kind of. I think so. It's one of those industries, I think, where you just can't stop. And, education is always ongoing, and being qualified and, that type of thing's always been a passion of mine. But, yeah, I will probably see it through to a degree. And, there's lots of opportunity that the diploma has allowed me to gain. And one of them is now with, St John's as a medic. So I'll be able to use all of that to my advantage, but also to get into, the degree at an institute of my choice, I would think, and get advanced standing. And that, at the end of the day, is going to save dollars. And I think the way that I've gone about it by doing the diploma first is actually an advantage, because I look at some of the guys that I work with, some of the volunteers that are also enrolled in, the bachelor program, and what they're doing in their second and even in their third year I did with APC in my first year and already knew it. So they're talking about how they're just getting exposed to, certain subject matter. And I'm like, well, I already covered that and I've already, been qualified in it and I'm pretty, up to speed with it all and very proficient in it. So I have to thank APC and certainly the trainers for that.